especially because Assassin's Creed Shadows, PC, Xbox Series X, and PS5 coming February 14, 2025. Andy, I want to stick with you for a second. Do you
That's
think,
the one.
I mean, that's the one. With that in mind, do you think that that's going to get in the way of your Kingdom Come Deliverance?
If the codes are given to us in a similar time, I am 1,000% picking Assassin's Creed Shadows.
Okay. There we go.
Valentine's Day, 2 days before my birthday. I want this game to be really, really good.
Valentine.
But what if it isn't? Like, are you worried with this delay? I know, obviously, they delayed. That's the right call, obviously, if you need more time for your game. But are we in a situation where, even with the delay, it's not a tech thing, it's a fun thing, and the systems they built and all this stuff?
No, I'm still... whatever that most recent showing they gave to us of here are the different gameplay features for both Yasuke and Yahweh, and how they differ, and different things you'll be doing with both of the characters, the way the seasons are working, the way like the year cycle works, all that stuff has me interested enough. And this will be a nice little appetizer to Ghost of Yotei. Yeah. Like I really want to just get back to a feudal Japan era with two characters that I can hopefully kind of dig into their backstory and start to enjoy. And I love what both of these characters are being presented as. The big, brooding,
powerhouse.
The powerhouse, two-handed, gigantic fucking baseball bat with spikes on it. I like what they're doing with the combat there. And then Yahweh being this more nimble. She's got that cool, what do they call that? Like the kunai sort of like spinny thing. I love that shit. I'm really into it. I want to see what this... She tears
up all the trees, takes down the bamboo trees when she's spinning around.
Yeah, that stuff looks really, really awesome. I'm really down to sort of check out this world. This is the one that I feel like will be the one.
Andy.
Huh?
Naue, by the way.
Oh, Naue, not a not a Y? Naue.
They're complaining with Yasuke.
Oh,
Yasuke, Naue.
You know what?
And Yotei.
So...
Yahweh is what we call God.
Well, also, Wei means like dude, and like a lot of Latin people will say like, Wei, so I kept on thinking Yahweh, but it was Naue.
A lot of this, in my culture, a lot of people in the South say, no way! You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Wait, which culture?
White. Southern California surfers.
Nombre way.
Spicoli. Pretty much where we all go.
That's the South.
SoCal's the
Let's
South
have
for
some
you.
fucking fun here.
Now, if we
I
have the
love
unfortunate incident where we get these codes 3 days before the game comes out or something like that, that would be an ultimate tragedy.
Yeah.
Well, that would also be a sign that there's something going on. You know what I mean? I hope everything's great.
For me, so here's the thing: is a while ago made the bet with Barrett about whether or not I and Andy will get into this video game. A lot of my side of the bet.
I'm part of the bet.
Yeah, I think you're part of the bet. Yeah. A lot of my side of the bet hinged on the fact that this game was coming out in November and there's nothing else coming out in November for me. So I was like, I'm going to have all the time in the world. This game is one that intrigues me. It's it's the Assassin's Creed in Japan that we've been asking for forever. Like, I think this is going to be my gateway back into the series. The problem now is now that it's coming out in February, I'm looking at the dates and I'm like, man, between Assassin's Creed Shadows, which is coming out February 14th, Valentine's Day, and then
romantic option.
It is the romantic option. And then you have a few days later, Avowed and Lost Records Bloom and Rage. Out of those three games, for me, likely the priority is going to be Lost Records Bloom and Rage. Honestly, maybe Avowed over Assassin's Creed at that point, right? Like, Assassin's Creed Shadows for me is one that at this moment is giving me the vibes of where I was at with Rise of the Ronin going into it, where I was so excited for Rise of the Ronin. I was like, oh, dude, I fucking love the Koei Tecmo games. I enjoyed, what was the one me, Andy, and Mike played? Wolong Fallen Dynasty. Like, we played that, and like we gave it like a 3 out of 5. But it was still like one of those ones where it's a 3 out of 5 that I enjoy. But then with the additive of in Rise of the Ronin, getting that open world, getting those systems, having it be, a bit expanded out, I was like, oh man, okay. You had to bring me more than just like the samurai setting or like the medieval Japan setting. Right?
It just didn't have the narrative sauce that I want, and I'm hoping that I have some sort of stakes to give a shit about in Assassin's. I want a character. I want to get attached to a character in the first 3 hours and have that son of a gun die and be like, oh, whoa, dude, holy shit! I wasn't expecting that one character to stab his friend in the back. I want some narrative sauce, Bless.
And that's my thing. The idea of Assassin's Creed Shadows is working so well for me. I like everything about it as far as how they're presenting it and what it's selling itself to be. I'm so scared that I'm going to get into those first 10 minutes, walk around a bit, and be like, ooh, this is a Assassin's Creed game, right? This is a Ubisoft game. This doesn't feel the way that like playing a Ghost of Tsushima feels, right? Or playing Ghost of Yotei, which is coming out later in the year. If I want a samurai game that I'm already invested in, as far as like the world and the story and the franchise. So, you know, I'm kind of like back and forth on Assassin's Creed Shadows right now as far as my own investment. But again, this is one that I'm hoping is good because it's doing a lot for me.
Avowed
I'm
being
worried.
So soon after scares me.
You're worried?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to love it. I loved what I saw at SGF, but even since SGF, like I haven't thought of this game and been like, I gotta play that. I can't wait to play that. Whereas a bunch of other stuff I did. So I'm hoping it's just gonna be great, and I'll have a great time when I get there.
Yeah, I think I'm a little less worried. I don't know why. It's just like the gut feeling. Like I feel like the delay is more so because they just want all hands on deck and make this as like big of a release as possible. And I think if they didn't delay it, I feel like it would have come out as like a kind of normal Assassin's Creed launch. You know, like you and I would play it. We would enjoy our time with it. Bless and Andy would play an hour of it and be like, man, this wasn't the one. I feel like they just want to take some time for the kind of last minute things to try to make this as big of a launch as possible. We'll see.
That mentality you have right there is the same way I felt about Star Wars Outlaws, though. Like I thought there's not a division being made by Massive because they are trying to really cook on this Star Wars game. This is their big chance. This is a can't miss, and it won't miss. And it kind of missed for a lot of people. And so, like, that's the one thing that worries about. I'm stoked for the extra time for polish, though.
The only difference is that like the moment-to-moment gameplay of Outlaws never looked good to me, and that was like why I felt like I clocked it early. Of like this game feels like it's going to be in trouble, whereas like the different elements of what they're adding to Shadows on top of what they've already built for the last decade or so, I am more confident in the moment-to-moment gameplay loop type of thing.
This episode is brought to you by Shady Rays. Get ready for the season ahead with quality shades built to last. Our friends at Shady Rays have you covered with premium polarized shades that won't break the bank. Durable frames and world-class optics for all outdoor adventures. With an extensive array of styles and colors, you're bound to find the perfect pair of Shady Rays sunglasses. Y'all know Tim has been outside in the sun a lot playing Pokemon Go, and he's having a great experience wearing Shady Rays when he's out and about looking dope. If you don't love your Shady Rays, exchange for a new pair or return them within 30 days. There's no risk when you shop. Exclusively for our listeners, Shady Rays is giving out their best deal. Head to shadyrays.com and use code KINDAFUNNY for 50% off 2 or more pairs of shades. Try for yourself the shades rated 5 stars by over 300,000 people. That's shadyrays.com and use code KINDAFUNNY for 50% off 2 or more pairs of shades.
We got Avowed next up. PC and Xbox Series X, February 18, 2025.
Now let's go the opposite here. If I'm Microsoft, I'm moving Avowed up.
Yep.
Let's get you the fuck out of February, put you in January. Let's get you in January. Avowed's whole shtick is that it's Obsidian. It's a smaller RPG. It's not meant to be 4,000 hours, right? It's going to be hopefully multiple playthroughs because you enjoy it so much. Let's get you into January. Everybody's looking for those new games. Everybody always wants
That's a good fucking call.
Yeah.
This
Phil,
guy, dude.
Phil, are you listening, Phil? Obsidian, are you listening? I hate to say it, you got to crunch now.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong there.
That's how
Like,
easy I flip it.
Avowed got delayed, and weren't they straight up just like, yo, we're trying to create some space?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I feel like
That's what I'm saying. I think
Yeah.
I think now I hope that they're over there. They look at February and they're like, this is too crazy. Let's move it to January. Because I think January is the perfect time to look at that. You got Freedom Wars, you got Donkey Kong, you got Dynasty Warriors. These, one of these things is not like the other. And I mean, all of them aren't like the other, where it's like, you could drop this, give people a good reason to turn on their Xbox, ask for an Xbox for Christmas, ask for a Game Pass Ultimate, whatever, for Christmas. And then be like, now you get to play this to get you started for the new year. Expectations for these first quarter games are usually lower, so you're getting a smaller experience. You're doing this whole thing. Let's just fucking go and have fun.
Yeah.
Phil, should we move this up? It's Donkuary, though.
I think even if you double down on the point that Greg's making here, right? Like if you're somebody who maybe gets an Xbox during Black Friday in November, or you get it during Christmas, you have Indiana Jones in December, cool.
Yeah.
Getting Game Pass for that. All right, January comes, time to
Yep.
cancel. Oh wait, Avowed. Like let's
Yeah.
keep this thing going,
Yeah.
right? Like I think that's what Xbox wants. You want something to keep people. You want that carrot on the stick to keep people going month to month and keep them subscribed. So I agree. I think you
And that's
move
the
it up.
thing, right? Where you're like, you make a great point of Indiana Jones being on Game Pass, getting you in. I forget if they said it. Indiana Jones, right? I'm expecting an Uncharted runtime. So what, 10, 12 hours of Indiana Jonesness? You're done with that. Then there's something here again that isn't the biggest thing in the world, but is ready to roll into and have some fun with.
I was so excited by all the previews from
100%.
people that were able to check it out at that. What was that?
The
LA version.
yeah, the
of
Gamescom in LA.
Gamescom, I was just very, very excited about it. I want to have these awesome NPC interactions and cool dialogue choices and big decisions to be made, in addition to just having this sort of new fantasy world that I'm really excited to kind of get into.
Zach Johnson's expecting 20 to 25 hours for Indy.
I mean, unfortunately, I am too.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, just in the sense like these games like love to just bloat, and like I feel like the modern Uncharted is 2025. Like I'm with you that I
Uncharted
hope that
4,
it's 12
yeah.
hours, but like yeah,
I think 15, 20.
The
yeah.
game's just got bigger, you know.
Wolfenstein 2, the new Colossus, I believe, is 11 hours according to how long to beat. And that's
Okay.
more of what I would compare it to, since that was their last game and it's also
Yeah.
first person.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't want 25 hours in Indiana Jones.
I hope it's as long as Wolfenstein.
Yeah. I wish there was like a way that I could like get my brain scanned over time and like have like a hype tracker situation, because the way in which like the Assassin's Creed and like the chart that you would see if my brain could get scanned, Assassin's Creed is like inch downward, but like Avowed is kind of overtaking.
Oh, wow.
Because before my hype for Avowed was kind of like just down. I did not really care about it. But I think with previous previews, and kind of just I think how it's positioned here, I'm like, you know what? I might be able to have time for this thing if they're able to get it. I guess get it out of February, get it into somewhere that's going to have a bit of space. I can see myself
I'm
falling
not
into it.
smart enough to do this, but someone out there is. What you're saying, rather than scan your brain, would be if someone made you a Google Sheets or an Excel thing, right? Where you had an allotted number of points to assign to X games, right? And you checked in weekly or bi-weekly, right?
Yeah.
And then you could just hit graph, and then the graph could do it. It'd be
Yeah.
like the blessing
It's
stock
like-
market.
The blessing stop.
It's like when I had my kidney stone, they were like, "What's your pain level at?" And I was like, 10 out
Sure.
of 10. Full. Like they're like,
Full tilt.
"What
Yeah.
smiley face are you?" I was like, "That one's not
I'm
smiling
upset.
at all." Yeah,
Frowning real
I think
hard.
my
Very
therapist
sad.
does this because she has like a questionnaire that I fill out every time. That's like, how are you feeling about these
Hype
things?
levels for Blessing's life.
Yeah.
I was thinking just like we get you a smartwatch with the heart monitor, right? And then we just look at you.
You
and
say
we
the name of games?
We just go Avowed. We see the rating go up.